Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. Not done a video for a little while. There's a couple of reasons for that, which I may go into in a future video just to tempt you there. Now I'm wearing a hat, and as you know, if I'm wearing a hat, I'm doing an unboxing. And here is the box, if you're interested. You'll notice this symbol here. This, I'm not sure if that symbol means it contains explosives or vegan material, which is possibly the same thing. But anyway, I did a video a couple of weeks ago about my selection of bicycle lights, and if you watched that, and if you haven't watched it, why are you watching this one? Because the two things are more or less related. I had quite a few lights, but various people made comments and said, oh, I really like this light, or this light I use, you know, kind of thing. I'm really fucking interested in what lights you've got. But anyway, look, a few people said, we've got this light and it's really good. So I thought, because I had nothing better to do, and I kind of felt like buying something. Do you ever get that feeling when you kind of feel like buying something? Anyway, I felt like buying something, so what do you do when you want to buy something for your bicycle? You might as well buy a light, because you can always use a light. So, oh, I've kind of given it away now. Anyway, so here is the box. Now, one of the things I want to say, first of all, is I don't think that the light that I have bought is particularly big, and I'm wondering why. Is it in a box the size of Windsor Castle, right? I mean, it's not like Fergie. Oh, have you heard this news? Fergie has been invited to the royal family's Christmas celebrations, and you think, who the fuck cares about that? I mean, do you care about that? I mean, well, I care about that because obviously I mentioned it, but anyway, so there's enough room in here for Fergie and her brood and her toe-sucking boyfriends to all fit in at once. So anyway, let's open the box. That's enough talk about the royal family. And let me just put that knife away safely. And look at that. Look at that. Right? Here is the box. Okay? There is a box here the size of Windsor Castle. Right, and in this box, the size of Windsor Castle, there is an item which is about the size of a studio flat. So if you can imagine, right, Windsor Castle, which has got 472 bedrooms, right, one for each, you know, illegitimate offspring of the royal family, plus one for all the servants. That's one bedroom for all the servants, and then a separate bedroom for each of the illegitimate members of the royal family. Not, of course, that there are any. And then if you imagine a studio flat, right? I used to live in a studio flat, and a studio flat, for those of you who don't know, is basically one room with or without a toilet. And this is the kind of studio flat, right? This is the sort of not the toilet bit. Anyway, that's enough of that. So that's the size of the box, right? So, I mean, I do worry a bit about the planet. Do you worry about the planet? I mean, I don't worry about the planet for myself, obviously, because I'm not actually going to be here for long enough. So if we achieve kind of net carbon zero by 2082 or whatever it is we're supposed to do, it's not really going to bother me that much. Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, this light is by Bontrager. I think brand names need to be careful when they're difficult to pronounce. You know, if you've got a name like Coke, right? Coke. I mean, you can't go wrong with Coke. I mean, I suppose you could say cock, but you wouldn't, would you? You'd say Coke. But if you've got Bontrager, is it Bontrager? Is it Bontrager? Is it Bontrager? Is it Bontrager? You see, it could be anything, and that's sort of confusing. Anyway, it is a flare RT, don't know what RT means, rear bike light. So let's just read what it says on the back. It says daytime visibility, right, up to 2 kilometres. Can you see that? Up to 2 kilometres. And when I read this in the kind of advert for this light, I thought, I mean, why is that a thing? Right? Do you want to be seen from 2 kilometres away? I mean, imagine you'd gone to a dogging site, right? I happened to be talking about dogging with somebody yesterday, but imagine you'd gone to a dogging site, right? And you had one of these strapped to, you know, a part of your anatomy. I'm not quite sure why you would, but, and then you could be seen from 2 kilometres away. I mean, would you want that while you were dogging? You wouldn't want it. And if you're on your bike, right, sorry, just scratching my nose. If you're on your bike and somebody can see you from 2 kilometres away, I mean, not really bothered about that. What you're bothered about, right, is can they see you from like 20 metres away when some, you know, twat in a great big fuck off BMW is bam you up the arse, right, and push you into the gutter or the side room or the nearest ambulance if there's one coming in 6 hours or less. I mean, that's when you want to be seen. I mean, 2 kilometres away, you don't care. Who cares if you be seen from 2 kilometres away? You know, I mean, you could be on, I don't know, you could be on Mars because, oh, look, you know, Elon Musk has developed this bike light that can be seen from Mars. And you think, oh, why? Who cares? Right? Well, anyway, so, and then it says, ultimate visibility for road, city and path, useful. Ambient light sensor for auto brightness control. Well, I don't know what that means. Connect with Garmin and Bontrager Ant Plus devices for always on battery status and control. I don't know what that means because I haven't got a Garmin, I haven't got a Bontrager or Bontrager Ant Plus, so those things are of no use to me. So let's see. I mean, we're going to find out, right? You know that I said this box, right, it's like a studio flat in Windsor Palace. Okay. Now inside the box, right, and this is always useful, right? Inside the box, there is another box, right? And I love it when there's another box. And inside the box is like a Russian doll, right? I have a Russian doll. So inside the box, there's another box. I mean, look at this. Look at this, boxes upon boxes. I mean, why do you need all those boxes? So if you imagine, okay, I'm just going to continue this metaphor. You've got Windsor Castle, okay, you've got Windsor Castle, you've got the studio flat, you've got the studio flat. In the studio flat, right, there is a fridge, okay, bear with. Inside the studio flat, there is a fridge. And inside the fridge, right, there is a tiny, and I mean tiny, how can I define tiny? We know what tiny means. Tiny means really small. Okay, so there's a tiny light, with a, this is, I imagine, some kind of strap system. Doesn't seem very big. Is that going to go around my seat post? There's a certain amount of girth to my seat post. Is that going to go around it? I don't know. I'll have a look in a moment, I suppose. And then here is a teeny, tiny, really minuscule USB cable. And that, my friends, oh no, there's a little book of instructions here, which is, actually, I usually say that the typeface, the font, the font of all wisdom, in these instructions is so small that I can't read them. But actually, I think I probably can read them. Not that I'd be interested. I mean, who reads instructions? I'm a man, for heaven's sake. There's more cardboard there. Let's just see. I mean, I imagine that what you do, right, hang on, you turn it on. You turn it on. No shit. Now, did I need the instructions for that, boys and girls? I did not need the instructions for that. Now, do I know how to turn it off? A long press. How's that? Look at that. Look at that. The man's a genius, right? It's not rocket science, as Elon Musk said when his first 5 rockets blew up on the ground. And then they said to him, boss, and he said, yeah, because he's South African. And they said, boss, he said, yeah, because he's, South African. They said, it's rocket science. And he said, no, it isn't. And they said, yes, it is, boss. He said, I've got a 6th rocket. Anyway, I think the 6th rocket, right, took off. So in the first rocket, okay, they had like an inflatable astronaut, okay, because they didn't want to put anything, living, because they knew it wouldn't live for very long. So in the second rocket, they put a chimpanzee. Well, the chimpanzee didn't make it. It was sad. In the third rocket, right, they thought this one we go for the big one, so they put 2 inflatable astronauts, okay, a male and a female, because why would you not? And then the fourth rocket, they thought, if we keep on with this, we're not going to have anybody to put in this fucking rocket. So in the fourth rocket, they just put a lot of sensors, a lot of sensors and iPads and stuff like that. So when it blew up, they could get, really great photos. And then in the fifth rocket, they thought, we're not going to take the risk now. But so they didn't put anything in. And then there was nobody to fly it, so it crashed anyway. So anyway, the light, okay, this is the Bontrager flare real light. Now, one thing we're going to, I thought I might illustrate, right, is so we're going to just pause the video there, all right, so just imagine, right, okay, I'll pause the video, right, so we just let the time pass until I come back. Boom, 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 boom. Right, what I've done, okay, I've attached the light to my bike. Okay, it wasn't that difficult. You didn't need to see that. I've attached the video to the video. I've attached the light to the bike, right? And I've taken the bike 2 kilometers away. Right now, can you see it? Well, can you? Can you see it? Can you see the light? I can't see it. I can't see the light. There's no light here, right? I took the bike 2 kilometers away. I mean, I went up the road. Okay, I turned left, right. I turned right, turned left, turned right, turned right, turned right. Went round the circle, turned left, turned right, turned right. Went down the hill, right. Got deep into the woods near the dogging site. Can you see the light? I mean, they say you can see it from 2 kilometers away, but they're not telling the truth, are they? You can't see it from 2 kilometers away, Bontrager, as if you'd want to. Right? Why do you want to see a light from 2 kilometers away? And how much is 2 kilometers away? It's about a mile, isn't it? I mean, a mile is a big distance, right? I mean, you try running a mile. I mean, I can't run a mile. I can't run, I can't run a bath. I ran a company, not particularly well, but I could run a company, but I couldn't run a mile. Couldn't run a mile to save my life. Anyway, that's a subject for another video. So anyway, pause the video, brought the light back, okay, even though you couldn't see it from 2 kilometers away. Were you supposed to turn it on? I wonder if that was the problem. It wasn't on. You can't see it from 2 kilometers. Can you see it from 2 kilometers away if it's not on? They don't tell you that, do they? Maybe it's in the instructions. Anyway, that's the light, okay. This is a knife that I use to cut open the box, so I'm just kind of comparing the size like that. I know what I can use. I can use my iPhone. Everybody knows the size of an iPhone, don't they? So that's an iPhone, right? And that is the Bontrager, whatever I called it, rear light. Okay, is that a good size comparison for you? All right, is that a good size comparison? Always useful to have good size comparisons, I think. How much was it? 20 quid, 25 quid? Maybe more. But the reason I bought it, okay, let's get back to a certain amount of sense in this video. The reason I bought it is because I don't always ride the same bike. And using the Exposure Trace R light, which I do like, I must admit, if you remember from my previous video, I do like that light. I keep on having to unstrap it and then strap it on the other bike. And that's going to be a little bit of a faff. And of course, every time you do it, you weaken the rubber. Not the rubber should get weakened because you don't want weak rubber. Oh no, boys and girls, that causes all kinds of problems. It weakens the rubber and then in the end it breaks. So I thought, I know, I'll get a light, a different light, so I can put it on one of my other bikes and then I don't have to keep on swapping them over. And so I decided to get this one. My mate Simon has one of these, by the way, and I can often see him from 2 kilometres away, although he's normally behind me. Rude comment there about Simon on his bike. And then you can't see the rear light anyway because it's at the back of his bike and I'm at the front and I'm not kind of turning around. And I don't know. Run out of things to say now. Just waiting for my invitation to join Sarah Ferguson at the Royal Family Christmas festivities, where we can talk about her exciting past and her rather unexciting, I suspect, future. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.